Dentatus presents Profin, the perfect choice for all kinds of cleaning, finishing, and contouring of dental surfaces. This complete package consists of the PDX handpiece and a color-coded stand with the most common of Lamineer and EVA tips. The truly unique part is the PDX handpiece with a smooth, non-glare surface, slim design for easy access and great precision. The unique oscillation motion of the tip that defines the Profin PDX gives a precise and safe working tool, unlike any other. Thanks to the limited movement of the tip, there is no heat buildup that requires view-limiting water cooling. You can easily change between the self-steering mode, which is ideal for polishing and cleaning, and a fixed mode, which gives greater control. The color-coded stand makes it easy to choose the right Lamineer tip, ranging from 15 to 150 microns. For cleaning, finishing, and contouring, Profin is the choice for professionals.
Use the Dentatus Profin IPR. This is how they look, and this is the only IPR on the market that is calibrated. And I'll try to show you how it looks. I might get a little bit away from the microphone in order to show you it, but here you can see the tips. You can see the way they are marked here in the bottom, and 0.1 is because it's 0.1 millimeter, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5 millimeters, which means these tips are all calibrated to the amount of IPR that we are planning in our clean checks or setups. Now, first of all, I think that is really cool because as you get used to using these tips, suddenly you don't need to use a measurement device approximately between the teeth. As you can see, there are two. The thinnest versions of these look a little bit different. You can see the diamonds covering this tip differs a little bit from the others, and that's because this 0.1 millimeter tip has a 15 micron diamond coating, which enables it to be used for polishing the teeth. So even after you have done your IPR, you can polish the proximal surfaces with these tips. Now, right now you might think, well, how does this work? Because they can't rotate, and I will get back to that in a moment. Just just bear over with me. So let's take a look at the third recommendation here. So the tips go into this special handpiece, the Dentatus handpiece. I've had a handpiece like this for 25 years in my own practice. Well, I had several of them, but one of them was 25 years old, and it just worked as if it had been bought within a week. As a practice owner, I thought that was really, really great. This is the handpiece. As I said, in my private office, I will not be able to put it into the dental chair. Now, there are some things that are worth to point out. The tips here, they go into the handpiece. You just push them in, and I'll see how easy this slips in like this. Now, there is a little detail here. It actually rotates freely in the handpiece. Now, this is a really new handpiece, so there's a little bit of friction here. But the fact that this tip here can rotate freely makes it really, really easy to slide it in between the teeth and let the morphology of the teeth dictate the way of insertion, which makes it quite safe to use, and I really like that. Now, once we have created the IPR we want to, we are able to, you can see here that these small indentations here, we're actually able to, let's see if I can illustrate this, we're able to click it into one of these, and now it can't rotate. So the tips aren't able to rotate anywhere. I can just keep the position as I'd like to. This enables the doctor to how do you say it? To shape the proximal surface as you want to. Now, I know there are products on the market where you just have a knob up here where you can change these settings. And I was attending a dental fair some time ago with an engineer who just shook his head about this. He said, well, you know, a system like this will hold up forever. But with a knob, it's a question of time before that knob is no more, isn't accurate anymore. So you'll have some kind of sloppiness in the way things are fixated in the handpiece. I hope this makes sense. Now, it is obvious if you've already performed a lot of IPR that you can't just start with a 0.5 millimeter tip. I don't know if you're able to see it, but they are quite thick when you want to get through an proximal area. So I would usually start with one of the first ones. Personally, I would usually start with the 0.2 millimeter tip and then go upwards until I had the amount of proximal reduction that I wanted to achieve. To begin with, I always used a measuring device to make sure that I had the right space that I needed. But over time, I got to trust the IPR system more and more. But it's a matter of experience, so you need to experience this first. So again, you can see there are these different tips, and you can also see there's a different design on the most on the thinnest parts here as on the others. And that's because when you have something like this that has a thickness of 0.1 millimeter, I mean, this is so thin that they needed to design this tip in a way where it wouldn't break. So if they had a design like this, these tips would definitely break. But since they have made them like these, the tips won't break. They are actually quite sturdy. Usually if I had a design like this and I just pushed it, a piece of metal like this would usually break, but they don't. Now, another great thing is, as I mentioned before, and I really like to point this out again, it's really, really critical for me to know that if I want a 0.3 millimeter approximal space, I get exactly 0.3 millimeter when I use one of the yellow tip here. So 0.3 millimeters ensures that I get exactly 0.3 millimeters. The size of these are perfect for the IPR. To be honest, I think you can just go with these. And they are much easier and much faster to work with when you do your IPR. Let's take a look at some of the other things I think are rather important in regards to the IPR. I'd like you to think about the morphology. You can use the 0.1 millimeter tip in order to polish the surface. You can see it's a different type of diamond gritting that is here. It's a 15 micron diamond coating, which enables us to use this part to polish. This is far better in my opinion, because when you use these tips in the handpiece will move the tip back and forth. It won't rotate them. It will only move back and forth. And it has a really delicate way to do this. The design of this and the amount of space that it moves back and forth ensures that it won't make the gingival tissue bleed if you touch them. You won't get any bleeding from the gingival tissue or from the lips or the tongue should they get into contact with this. And they are much easier and much faster to work with when you do your IPR. Now, to be on the safe side, I highly recommend the IPR tips from Dentatus. And I hope I've illustrated why I think these tips are superior in comparison to all other systems on the market actually. There's no other system that has calibrated tips. There's no other tips that are so easy to use. So I really like the Dentatus tips in comparison to all the others. Think about what system you will put in place to improve your workflow. I recommend you pick the one thing that requires the least effort to give the biggest impact. And I believe the IPR tips from Dentatus is such a thing.